Hey friends, welcome back to my channel. Today I'm going to be sharing with you guys what I've got going on for history and science for my third grader. We are going to be using BJU Press, Heritage Studies, and then also their science curriculum for third grade. So I'm going to give you guys a look in the book for that. If you are looking into this curriculum, you want to know what it looks like or anything like that, then stay tuned and we'll go ahead and get started. All right, so we are going to start with Heritage Studies today, and I'll give you a quick look at that, and then I will pop over and do the science at the end. Check that description box below, and I will make sure and put a timestamp on there and make a chapter out of it so that you can then kind of switch over there if you're here for science. Again, this is all for third grade, and if you have followed along in my channel for a long time, you know that history is very near and dear to my heart, and it is really hard for me to let go of the reins for my students' history lessons and do a distance learning program. But this year, I invested the money into a distance learning program with BJU Press for both our history and our science, and I'm really excited about it. There's a couple reasons why I decided to do that. Probably the largest reason is because I have my subsequent kids coming down the line that are starting school. So now there will be 3 of us in the classroom. And to help me be a little bit more just aware of my preschooler and making sure that he is getting some attention and some time, I decided to let go of these 2 subjects to do the distance learning and allow me to then focus on my younger student while my older one is doing his classes online. So that's really the biggest reason why I decided to do it. Also for our science, those of you that have heard our story many times, science has been a big struggle for me. I haven't found a curriculum that I've loved. So we've kind of just done more unit studies with science, and I feel like by the end of the year, we stopped doing it altogether. So in doing it with science this year, I wanted to make the investment, and up through third grade, both science and history are half-year courses, so there are only 90 lessons in each, and so therefore the price for both subjects is the same as one price for, like, we did English last year, so it just complemented my budget that way that I could get both subjects for the price of one. And this is the last year I can do that for him because fourth grade science is a full year with 180 lessons or whatever they do, 160 lessons, I can't remember. Anyway, I guess it's 180 because it's 90 plus 90. And then history is the same way. So anyway, without further ado, when you get the distance learning, these are all the supplies that you're going to get in it. And I will flip the book around, or flip the camera around here in just a second, and I'll show you those. But number 1 is the video lesson guide, and this is going to kind of go through and show you what you can do for each day of the week. They have 5 lessons. Now, they don't do it like Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday. They just do day 1, day 2, day 3, day 4, day 5, all the way up through day 90, if you can see that there. But of course, there's a glare, so you can't, okay? So it goes up through day 90 here. And that's going to work for me really well because although this course is designed to be done in one semester, I'm actually going to do it for the whole year, and we will only do history 2 or 3 days a week. So with 90, I just divided it by the number of weeks that I have in my school year, and I learned that I needed to do like 2.3 lessons per week. So some weeks we do 2 lessons and some weeks we do 3, and that will help us get through the entire course by May when we want to finish with school. You also are going to get, of course, your student manual, and I've only watched like the sample lessons, so make sure you go and watch all of the our homeschool life update videos as I go throughout our school year. Follow along with me there, and I'll let you know kind of how I feel about this text because I am a little nervous. I'll be honest. I'm a little bit nervous because the content seems to be, I don't know, like first, second, or kindergarten, first and second grade were really like fun things to learn about and whatever, I don't know. And this is like really heavy. I feel like there's a lot about like the political side of the country and presidents, and it talks a little bit about slavery and how the United, like the what am I trying to say? Anyway, whatever I'm trying to say. It's just, it seems a lot more heavy. It's not necessarily like the fun stuff of history. Maybe that's part of the reason why I decided to like share, like give it away and let someone else teach it. But I'll turn the camera around and I'll show you in a minute. Okay, so you also get the activity manual. Usually in years past, I've always made my own activity manual because I haven't been satisfied with the content in the activity manual. Fortunately this year, like it just came with the program, so I'll use it. I haven't even really like looked through it very deeply, but I'll let you look at that here in just a second. Okay, it also comes with handouts. So I've noticed that when I bought it last year, this is still all cellophane wrapped, and I'm not going to open it because it's loose leaf and I don't have a binder to put it in yet. But the handouts, so like the first chunk of the handouts are going to be this like video lesson guide, and then the second chunk of handouts are things that the instructor in the video is going to have your student pull out and use. So sometimes they're maps, they might be graphs, they might be, I don't know, different things like that that the students are going to use. So these are, you know, they are what they are, and you just kind of use them as you go along. I will open these, and I don't actually put them in a binder because I do the crate system. Then I have to go through one lesson at a time, and I put whatever is in the crate, like whatever is suggested in the video lesson guide, and I put it in the correct week in my crate, so that when we get to that week, I can just pull it out and get going. I'll make a video of how I'm organizing our school year this year. I've made them in the past. I'm doing a few changes, but for the most part, it'll be very much the same because it's a system that works, and why fix what's not broken, right? And then you also have your tests that are going to come in your kit. I did administer tests to my student last year. I like to give my kids the test because I feel like it's a good representation of what they have learned, and then it's something that I can put into their portfolio and save for whatever. Now, I live in a state that doesn't require a portfolio. I don't have to turn anything in, but I do it because, number one, you never know what the future holds. So if for whatever, in any event that someone knocks on my door and say, I need you to prove to me what you've been teaching your kid, then I'll just be like, okay, here it is. And number two, I don't know, like maybe in some future year when my kids are grown, I'll be able to go back and look at it. So usually I only save like art projects and tests is pretty much it. Writing samples, I save those. So what I save is really minimal, but I do like to administer tests to my kids strictly because I like to put it in their portfolio and just have something to save. So they also have the answer key, which is cellophane wrapped, and you don't have to worry about somebody looking at the answer key, I guess. Okay, let's turn the camera around and I'll show you history, and then we'll do science next. All right, let me just show you really quick the content that's going to be here in the Heritage Studies. Now, I don't have the teacher's manual this year, again, because we're doing the distance learning, but you can kind of get an idea. And from what I've seen, the student is going to be reading most of this text, so you're going to want to know kind of what your reading level is with your student. Here is just the quick content that you're going to get for each chapter. You'll notice that there's not really a whole lot of talk about the Revolutionary War. You ended level 2 with the Revolutionary War, and they don't really talk about it hardly at all here in level 3. So just a word to the wise, you want to make sure that that level 2 is going to be finished before you do this, okay? All right, so I'll just show you really quick. Every chapter begins the same. This book looks really similar. The layout is exactly the same as the other ones. Lots of color. This has quite a bit more content that your student is reading than what you got in your level 1 and level 2 books. So that's something of note as well. I will say, here's a fun story for you as I flip through really quick. When I was flipping through it the first time, I got to the chapter about moving west, which I believe is about in this area here. And we got to the section about the Mormons moving west. I'm going to make sure and turn to this page. And I'll just say, for those of you who are or are not members of the Church of Jesus Christ of Latter-day Saints, the way that BJU Press has shown this particular section is appalling. Okay, I'm getting to it right here. It's this page, I'm pretty sure. Oh, it's no 190. Okay, it's really
pretty much false statements all the way around. I did write BJU Press, and I asked them to rewrite it. Here it is. I asked them to rewrite it. I connected with a university professor at BYU who also works with the church history department for the church itself, and I had her rewrite it for me, so we'll see if that ever moves forward. But this text, if you are a member of the church, then you'll notice it. But if you're not a member of the Church of Jesus Christ of Latter-day Saints, can I ask you to just skip this page? Because the content here is pretty much false in a lot, and it paints the picture in a completely erroneous light. So, yes, the saints did move west, but the reasons that are painted in this picture are completely inaccurate. So, that's my 2 cents about that. Don't read these 2 pages is all I would ask you. Okay, so here's the rest of your pages here. You're just kind of moving through, and yes, this is Christian based, so they do talk about God, and they do talk about how God helped to shape the nation. So that's that, and then I'll show you guys, here's the activity manual really quick. Again, I haven't even really looked through this very much, but in previous years, I've been really unsatisfied with it, so I haven't ever purchased it, but it looks like it's mostly just a lot of fill in the blank, and a couple, here's like some matching stuff, so there's not a lot of, here's one fact and one opinion about this picture. So anyway, I guess that it's just kind of a review worksheet that you can have your student do as a part of your, oh look, folding the flag. So that's good. Teaches you about that. But it's good, just kind of review. Which I guess when I think about English, it was pretty much built out the same way. It's just a really good activity that the students can do when they're finished with what has been done on the video, just to make sure that they're listening. But I will say that for the English one, a lot of times my son would just be able to do the work text without even watching the video. So I guess there's that too. So anyway.
All right, so there is the history, and in case you went really fast and you missed my 2 cents about the Mormons Move West pages, right in the middle, page 194 and 195, there's a little snippet about Mormons Move West, and I would just really encourage you to skip those 2 pages. If you are not a member of the Church of Jesus Christ of Latter-day Saints, you're going to get a completely erroneous description and painting of the history of the church and their doctrine and everything. I am a member of the church, and when I read it, I was appalled at how terrible it was. So I talked about it when I was flipping through, so I won't recap that in case you missed it, but go back and rewatch those reasons why, just so that, just do yourself a favor, do all the members of the church a favor, and don't read those 2 pages. Okay, let's talk about about science. So again, you're going to get the same materials with science that you're going to get with English. So we have, here's the video lesson guide. Now, I'm sure that all of the, whatever you get is going to have, like whatever subject you get with BJU Press, you'll always get the video lesson guide. And this one is going to have the instructions on the side. They both come with instructions, but it's specifically important with your science because you're going to be doing a few science projects. And I'm going to show you what I got to help out with that here in just a second. But it's all the same. So it has the day, the video, the content that you're going to be learning about that day, and it also tells you how many minutes. Okay, it's the same with history. I just didn't show you. It also tells you how many minutes the video length is so that you can, sometimes when I like plan my year, since we're going to be doing this either 2 or 3 days a week, again, there are 90 lessons, then I'll be able to know how many minutes each lesson is, and I can think, oh, well, this video is only 10 minutes long as opposed to this video that's 23 minutes long, so then you can kind of double up your days and maybe do 2 video lessons in one day. Or make sure that the week that you need to do 3, then I can make sure, I keep saying you, but you know I mean me. So anyway, that's that. And then you're gonna get your activity manual and your student text. I'll show you these in just a second. You have your tests, just like the other one. Again, I like to administer tests for my kids just so that I can save them. And then you also have, now this handout booklet I actually opened. so I can show you these handouts really quick. Again, the first half you can see here, these are your video lessons. There's a receipt. Okay, here's my video lesson. So you'll see the first chunk is just the same. And then after that, these are going to be the types of pages that you get. So instructions, these are instructions for, I should do this on the floor. Just a minute. Let's turn around.
Okay, so here are all of these activity pages, just an example. You'll have some instructions for a science project you're gonna do. These are a rubric that you can use to help you kind of like grade your students. More rubrics, more rubrics. Oh, apparently it's a lot of rubrics. So looks like it's just rubrics and instructions. Star pattern, okay, so things that they can do for their science projects. This is a solar mobile crossbars. Okay, so you kind of get an idea of the stuff that's going to be in here. It's only like 30 some odd pages total, so, and it starts, okay, on page 1. So there's only about 40 pages of it, but there's that. Now, since we're on the floor, let me show you these books, if I can find where I put them. Okay, so here is your, here's your science book. And I haven't even looked through this really, but we have cold-blooded, warm-blooded plants, ecosystems, matter, sound, energy, and motion, soil, rocks, and minerals, weather, the solar system, cells, tissues, and organs, and skin. Now, all of these 12 units I have taught as a unit study in previous years. So these aren't going to be brand new for my child, but I'm excited for him to have just like a good flow and some little science experiments that are going to go with it. So here's the content. Now, when I watched the sample video that BJU Press offers, the teacher does direct your student to read, for example, pages 10 and 11. So the student will eventually read all of these pages, and you're going to want to make sure that your student has the ability, the reading ability to do that, and comprehension ability as well. I wanted to show this really quick. You'll notice science and the Bible. So it is Christian based. They will be connecting God to the creation and how the wonders of the world are there. Again, I haven't gone deep into this curriculum, so you'll have to follow along as we go through our homeschool life so that you can see how we like it and how it turns out and all that kind of good stuff. So here are these pages just as a quick content view. You can kind of see. And again, BJU Press does have like some stuff online that you can do to get a larger, like the scope and sequence and some stuff like that. But this is just kind of to quickly look as if you get to thumb through it yourself. Like when I go to the curriculum fair, I feel like I need a lot more visual than you can sometimes get online. So that's my hope in creating these videos for you guys, is that you can actually get that visual that's like, oh, okay, yeah, this is actually look like it's something that I want, or nope, that's not right. So anyway, okay, so there's that. Now, this last part that I want to show you.
So this last part that I want to show you, I'm really excited about. One of my big problems with science is the science projects. Those of you who have followed along, that's not going to be new for you. So this year, I was super excited that I learned about homesciencetools.com. So this is my home science tools kit that I order. And what you do is when you go online, you look up the curriculum that you are using, and then you find the science kit for whatever level that is. Let me open this box and I'll show you. But what they're going to do is they will create a kit that has all the supplies that you need for your whole science unit, so that you don't have to be running to the store all the time like, oh, I need to buy one battery, or I'm missing like 6 straws or something like that, right? So inside, you're going to get all the things that you need. So let me do like a little unboxing for you because I haven't opened this before. But you're going to have, look at this. So I've got 2 balloons. I like a little bouncy ball. There's some cups in here, just some like dry cups, and it looks like a little plastic beaker for whatever that comes. 1 ruler. We have lots of these, but now I have one just for that. We have some cubic, what is CU? Cubic something? Anyway, so we have like there's 2 different metals in here. That's all I know that's in here. One of them says CU, which makes me want to say cubic, and then the other one doesn't have anything written on it. But anyway, I have some thermometers. Now I do know that the project that goes with this is like when the sun is on a lizard and when the lizard is in the shade. So like the assignment comes with 2 lizards that the kids color, and then they put one of the lizards in the sun, one of the lizards in the shade, and then like every so often they have to go and check and see what the temperature is. So there are 2 thermometers, right? Like I wouldn't have 2 thermometers otherwise. A spring scale is in here, a rubber band, like 1 rubber band. I'm sure I need that for something. We have some black, oh, this looks like dirt. Okay, some dirt. So anyway, it comes with everything that you need. Lima beans, fruit juice, Knox blocks. Oh, gelatin. Anyway, and then I've got a mineral study kit. So if you are doing any kind of science, I would highly recommend. I do know that they have Apologia on there, but when I was there, I knew exactly what I was looking for, so I didn't like look around the website to see what all of the different publishers that they offer are. But get yourself a home science kit so that when those science projects come up, you already have everything you need and you're not running to the store for a pack of Jell-O or a scale or something like that, and you already have everything you need in the quantity that you need for your 1 student. So that's my recommendation. Again, check the description box below and I'll put a link there. No, we're not affiliated, but if you guys want to affiliate, you know, I'll be happy to do that. All right. So anyway, that is the lowdown and the little look in the book for BJU Press Science and Heritage Studies Level 3. If you have questions, leave them in the comments below. As always, thank you for tuning into my channel. I really love having you guys here and I love sharing my homeschooling journey. If you are new, I invite you to subscribe, as our homeschool life will have a 3rd grader, kindergarten, 1st grader, and a preschooler this year. So if you are interested in following along in that journey, subscribe to the channel so you can see those coming down the line as they start showing up. Bye, guys.